Believe it or not, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were awarded Time People of the Year, whatever the fuck. Cringy lib shit, don't really care about it, but one thing it does make me happy in regards to this is watching conservative dumb fucks melt the fuck down about it. Such as Ben Shapiro, who is coping hard after Trump's crushing defeat, not just in the election, but in every single move he's tried to make to overturn said election. He got blown the fuck out at every turn. It's been quite beautiful to see. So let's go ahead and just enjoy some Ben Shapiro copium for a little bit. I'm just going to sit back and we're going to enjoy.
And here is where it's going to break out into the open. Prepare thyselves. And so Time Magazine, I love this. Time Magazine decided on its person of the year. So who should be the person of the year? The truth is the actual people of the year should be Big Pharma, right? Much maligned Big Pharma that developed a vaccine for COVID inside of a year, right? Which is unbelievable. Like inside of 9 months, they went from 0 to 100. And now hundreds of millions of doses of vaccine for a contagious, deadly disease are going to be rolled out over the course of the coming months. They didn't win it.
By the way, Ben Shapiro has spent his... It's really funny seeing Ben Shapiro praising Big Pharma. And I agree with this, by the way. I do think that the scientists that that developed the vaccine, who are the actual heroes here, should be getting Time Person of the Year. Personally, but I don't really give a shit about Time Person of the Year. It's dumb. It's fucking lib shit. No one cares about it that actually gives a shit about anything, really. Like, nobody fucking cares. Funny thing is, though, Ben Shapiro has been arguing ever since Corona was a thing that it's not a big deal. Yeah, frontline workers too. Oh yeah, and Ben Shapiro and Paul Joseph Watson, all these right-wingers have been saying that COVID's not a big deal, that healthcare workers are getting too much credit for their work. They've been doing this all this fucking time. Ben Shapiro argued, unironically, we watched a video of him doing it. Ben Shapiro argued that we should just be sending everyone out to do what they would normally be doing and allow COVID to burn through the population, kill who can't survive it, and then eventually everyone will have had it, so now it's all good. It's burned through everybody. Herd immunity will take care of it. Just let who can't handle it die, cull off the weak by letting them get sick, and then we're good, you know? Ben Shapiro has been arguing this for, God, since like March. Since like April, March, and May. He's been arguing it the whole fucking time.
No, the people who won it, of course, were Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Now, it is called the Person of the Year. You may have noticed, right? Person of the Year. Person, last I checked, was singular. Now, I know that we use singular and plural. Alternatively, these days, I know that you are allowed as an individual human to say that your pronouns are they and them, which is insane in and of itself. But apparently, also, Person of the Year now means People of the Year, because they didn't just feature Joe Biden on the cover of Time. They featured Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris's only accomplishment was getting her ass so kicked during the primaries that she dropped off before California could even vote, and then being the right race and the right gender. Those were her great accomplishments in this race.
Damn, Ben, that copium, though. It's funny, too, because Time felt the need to give them Person of the Year for beating Trump. That's the funny thing. Trump is so bad and so maligned and hated by everybody that, like, beating him in the election, they felt was worthy of being giving them Person of the Year. That's how much everybody fucking hates him. The fucking copium, dude.
Really, because if she were not black and she were not a woman, there's no way in hell that Joe Biden would have selected her. How do I know? Because he didn't select Amy Klobuchar, right? Who was actually in a swing state. He overtly said that he was picking somebody for her race. It doesn't matter. The media are so excited about the possibility of Joe Biden dying that they're like, you know what, just stick Kamala on and everything. They're just going to turn them into this two-headed monster. We're going to pretend, like, at no point was Mike Pence featured as like a Person of the Year with Donald Trump. The vice president is a warm bucket of spit. Right? That's in the John Adams famous phrase.
He's so angry. Like, maybe he wears the yarmulke all the time. I think it's a yarmulke, right? Is that what it's called? Yarmulke? Is that what this is called? I think there's like another name for them. I think it might be a different thing. Is that a yarmulke? Can anyone tell me? Okay, it's a yarmulke. Alden says yes. Kippa. It's a kippa. You're right. Yeah, that's the one. It's a kippa. So is the reason why he wears a kippa because he's malding? He's getting like the malding's happening like in the back of his head there, so it's like spreading out. So he has to wear the kippa all the time, not just because of religious reasons, but also because his hair's falling out because it's malding right off. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here.
It's a useless office, essentially, the vice presidency. It's basically just president in waiting. And the media can't wait, man. Joe Biden ought to get a food taster. Every time he's with the media, he ought to have that food taster tasting his food. You can just see members of the media just sitting there in the room. They got a blow dart in the back. Well, he's like, ugh. Oh, great, Kamala's president now.
Is Ben Shapiro conspiracy mongering that the media is going to try to kill Joe Biden? They're going to try to assassinate Joe Biden so that a black woman can be president? Is this what passes for political commentary in conservatives for 2020? Is this what copium does to you? Oh, well, maybe the media, because they're such big SJWs, will literally coordinate an assassination on Joe Biden. What the fuck?
That's where this is going. They cannot wait. Putting Kamala Harris on the cover of Time magazine as a person of the year. Oh, man, they're so eager to get rid of this guy. They're so eager. And they're even more eager because Biden...
He doubled down on it, too. He didn't even just laugh it off like it's a joke.
Seems to still be, in some ways, an institutionalist. I say in some ways because he's not overall an institutionalist. But he's making enemies among the progressive left in his own party. Listen, you got to give credit where credit is due. When Joe Biden said in this sort of stealth phone call,
it's really funny seeing he's got his leftist tears mug there while literally crying about Trump losing and Biden and Kamala getting like Time Person of the Year. It's actually really, really funny because there's never been a more ironic image. You know, wait, oh fuck, my Republican tears mug is in the washer right now. It would be fun if I had my Republican tears mug with my coffee in it, just to coincide with this. It'd be fucking glorious.
Call that he was doing with community activists and all this. He said in the phone call a couple of things that are actually worthy of note. One, he took the Abigail Spanberger, a moderate congresswoman from Virginia, Democrat, position that they shouldn't defund the police because defund the police is a phrase being used to beat up Democrats, which obviously is true. He said we might lose that Georgia Senate race if we keep saying that over and over. Right? So Joe Biden cracking back against the hard left inside his own administration. Here was that.
So this isn't true in the way that he's framing it to be. So defund the police doesn't mean take money away from the police. It means reallocate funding to different sectors of our our criminal justice system to improve how we go about dealing with crime in this country. For example, reallocating funding to social workers, reallocating funding to do prison reform, like massive prison reform and whatnot. That is what's being called for when people say defund the police. What Joe Biden has an issue with is the messaging, though he supports the actual policy put forward by those saying it. What Obama and Biden have said they have issue with is the wording of it, the message that comes across to those that don't know what the policy is that's being advocated for here. Because defund the police is like a pretty radical position if you just look at it at surface value. But if you think about it as like reallocate funding, then it's not as controversial. That's what he takes issue with. He does support the policy that those saying defund the police are advocating.
That from that phone call.
I also don't think we should get too far ahead of ourselves on dealing with police reform in that, because they've already labeled us as being defund the police. Anything we put forward in terms of the organizational structure to change policing, which I promise you will occur, promise you. Just think to yourself and give me advice whether we should do that before January 5th, because that's how they beat the living hell out of us across the country, saying that we're talking about defunding the police. We're not. We're talking about holding them accountable.
Okay, so
Bro! He literally just said what I just said. It's the messaging that's the problem. He doesn't know if he wants to go so hard on it before the Senate race is done, because, you know, we have to win the Senate. And that he doesn't want to go so hard on it until after he's in office and after the Senate after the Senate election. It's literally all he said. He did say, we're holding the police accountable. We're going to go through with these policy reforms. Whether or not he'll actually do it is a whole other thing, especially if we lose the Senate. But literally nothing here. I literally predicted everything he was going to say. That's exactly what he believes. It's the messaging he has a problem with because it's used against Democrats.
Biden is cracking back against the left wing of his party. We'll see how well that goes for him. But more importantly, he actually said there's a bunch of stuff that I'm not going to do via executive order, right? He said I'm not going to ban assault weapons via executive order. It's not something that I'm going to do, right? Because I think that that's not constitutional. Now, I will note, Barack Obama said the exact same thing about deferred action for childhood arrivals. He said it dozens of times. He said, I don't have the unilateral power to suspend immigration law. Then he went ahead and did it because, of course, Democrats very often are into just violating the institutional precepts they already know they don't want to abide by.
I fucking wish I would pay anything. Also, this is the end of the video, by the way, so we'll just watch.
Right? They say that they like those institutions. Then if they have to break them, then they break them. Okay, but
it just cuts off right there, huh? All right, well, there you go. I wish that what Ben Shapiro said actually happened. I wish the Democrats bent the rules the way the Republicans do. The Republicans will just they are so fucking shameless with how they'll bend the rules in order to achieve whatever their goal is, right? The Democrats are overwhelmingly, they're just fucking cucks for the rules. It really does suck how often they'll just cut themselves to playing by the rules. I honestly want to see Democrats do what Republicans do more often. Republicans are way more into gerrymandering, way more into utilizing executive orders to get their agenda passed. Democrats just don't do that as much. But hey, if that ends up being what happens, all my fucking support, my dude. I would love to see Joe Biden use executive order to pass things like police reform and whatnot. I want to see him use that power to do it. Anyway, though, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video. I do appreciate it. It helps the video a lot. Make sure to leave that like. If you're new here and you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell icon so you actually get notified when I upload or whenever I go live. And, of course, can't forget, subscribe to my Patreon and support the channel by hitting the join button, become a channel member, and donate and sub in the website if you have the money for it. You don't need it for anything else. And of course, follow me on Twitter, the link in the description, and join the Discord. I really do appreciate it, and thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.